In rum world, there are a few ingredients, when written on cocktail menus, mass market would probably look at, not understand, and then avoid ordering those cocktails. For example, orgeat syrup. I have this conversation quite a lot in bars. When they have a Mai Tai written on their menu and they list orgeat, the Mai Tai might not be that popular a cocktail. However, when they change that orgeat to almond syrup, all of a sudden that cocktail starts to fly. Falernum is another great example of that. And actually, pimento dram. Again, when these are written on cocktail menus, mass market generally don't understand what these are. And of course, we all do it with food. If we don't understand what an ingredient is, we tend to avoid it. We tend not to order it. Now, one of my favorite tiki ingredients is another classic example of this. Fassionola syrup. Again, many people just simply don't know what it is. However, if you change the wording on your cocktail menu to something like tropical fruity syrup, all of a sudden that cocktail is going to fly out the door. Now, for those of you just acquainting yourself with Fassionola syrup, you might be thinking, oh, I'm going to Google this. I don't know what it is. Let me just help you. For a start off, there's no definitive recipe for what Fassionola syrup is. It kind of appeared out of nowhere when we're talking about the hurricane cocktail. There is no documented recipe of what it exactly is. All we kind of know what it is essentially a passion fruit syrup with red fruits. Now, many of us bartenders will make our own syrup. Traditionally speaking, again, as I say, there's no written rules about this. We would all go for at least a 50% blend of passion fruit, and then we'll kind of go maybe strawberry to kind of make it red, maybe hibiscus, maybe mango. In fact, this one has got all of those ingredients in it. Now, the reason all us bartenders will make our own Fassionola syrup is because there is simply not one available to buy off the shelf. Even on a mass market level in the US, I've never really heard of a Fassionola syrup. Even global giants Monin don't have one. And if you expected anyone in syrup world to produce their own Fassionola syrup, it would be Monin. They've virtually got every other flavour covered, so why not Fassionola? That is until now. Now we've got an off-the-shelf brand that actually many bartenders would instantly get on board with. And it's Miss Better's syrups. Now, to many bartenders, the Miss Better's brand will be no stranger to you. We've all had these bitters for years now. Sam and her dad Philip over in Canada have been making these phenomenal bitters. I've got a whole collection of them up here. Get that down, it's about, I don't know, 15 maybe bitters up there, 12, 15, and they are fantastic. I wouldn't say they're industry leader, but they're certainly up there in the top echelons of bitters when it comes to, the bitters that you kind of use in cocktails. And two of my favorites here, the banana and bergamot and the pineapple and star anise, are fantastic. So Sam and her dad Philip have now ventured into syrup world, and they want to do syrups with a difference, because actually these are bordering on puree level. I don't know the exact recipes, but Philip has assured me that we're talking like a lot higher than 50% fruit in these. And there is a range of 4. Now, this isn't a sponsored video in any shape or form, but I will be honest. I do have a great relationship with the importer in the UK, JBE, John, who, Rum Cocktail rum will be no strangers to you. The Mr. Daiquiri rums. So you've got the Lovers Forzone, the brand new one, Stella. We've got Fortunella, the kumquat orange liqueur. And we've got various other brands as well that I've used. So John has gifted me these to try out, with the intention of me doing a Fassionola syrup, but I cannot wait to play with these other 3. Now, if you are in the UK, these are available to buy right now. There will be a link in my description. It is not an affiliate link. It is not a discount link. It is just a link to John's own shop, which he has now. But as Sam and Philip are based in Canada, and I know Miss Better's Bitters are in Canada, I know they're in parts of the US as well, and parts of Europe, and I think they've even made it into Australia, it wouldn't surprise me to learn that these syrups are steadily rolled out worldwide. And if you know me and you know the sort of cocktails I like to make, you'll know full well that I cannot wait to rock out the passion fruit and vanilla and the yuzu. The yuzu is going to play in lots of cocktails. But here's an early question for you to get involved in the comments. Those of you that know, which cocktail do you reckon I'm going to rock out the passion fruit and vanilla puree in? Go on, get involved in the comments below. Let me know which one you think I'm going to try that in next. Now, as you'll see, I've got 5 recipes for you coming up where I've used this syrup and like trying it out. I am filming back to front as I always do. Film the cocktails first, then film the ending and the intro. I'm not going to give the game away. You're going to have to do it. All the recipes will be in the description below. You can go in there. But let's just give you a little taste test of what this Fassionola is. First impressions. Definitely passion fruit, but actually strawberry. Real vivid, vibrant strawberry. It is really not sweet. It is tart, as you'd expect a passion fruit puree to be. It's got that fruitiness, but I want to assure you, this is really not a sweet syrup. And in fact, I promise you, I'm not being paid to say this, and this has got no more than me just loving this syrup. Yes, I do get on with the guys really, really well, but this is probably the most authentic tasting syrup I have ever tried. If there was just the 2 flavours that come off this instantly and everyone would be able to recognise is passion fruit and strawberry. And it tastes like super ripe strawberries and super ripe passion fruits. Honestly, this is a strong 10 out of 10 syrup. Now, if you know me, if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm terrible at reading labels. The information I need is at the label, on the label, except for the volume. Now, as I say, I'm just taking Philip's word for this, that is a lot higher than 50% fruit, a lot higher. That was his words. Not just a little bit, but a lot higher. But the ingredients into this, passion fruits, raspberry, mango pulp, ruby grapefruit, strawberry, pomegranate, hibiscus, and then citric acid in there. So they're your fruits. So I can't wait for you guys to sort of dive in and try it. Remember that link below. But now let's dive in and let's show you what 5 recipes that I've kind of wanted to put this through its paces. Let's dive in. Today's video is sponsored by my own free ebook, packed full of rum knowledge and information, plus recipes and tips that will help you easily make some awesome cocktails at home. If you haven't grabbed the latest edition, then make sure you click the link in the description below. Or if you're watching on TV or desktop, then you can scan that QR code that's popping up on screen right now. Right, let's crack on with the video. Now, it's only right, the first cocktail we start off with and try this is the Hurricane. It's what Fassionola was created for, essentially. So this has to be the cocktail of choice. Nice and simple. Let's go US for this. So we're going to do a 60 ml, 2 ounces of your favorite dark rum. Then it's a 30 ml blend of lemon and lime juice and 30 ml of this Fassionola syrup. Single strain into your Hurricane glass filled with crushed ice. Crown with a bit more crushed ice. Then garnish with a dried passion fruit from Falernum and a nice bushy sprig of mint. I mean, that is absolutely delicious. Really not sweet at all. It's actually quite tart. There's that lovely sort of passion fruit, you know, coming through. Definitely get vibrant strawberry coming off this as well. Can't quite pick other fruits. There's a tropical note to it other than that passion fruit. But it's passion fruit, strawberry, definitely, but just beautifully balanced with that citrus. That rum is just there as well. And that's a delicious, delicious Hurricane. Now, the next cocktail I wanted to try is a margarita, a kind of Fassionola spicy marg, if you like. Now, I did put, some of you that follow me on Instagram will have noticed that I'm kind of intrigued about tequila. There was several brands recommended to me. I will go down that rabbit hole, but for the time being, this is the brand I have for cocktail masterclasses, Cascabel. But we will look at other tequilas when we sort of do tiki cocktails with tequila and that sort of stuff. But for now, I've just got the Cascabel. It's a great, great tequila. To be honest, I don't know where, for me, it's a great tequila. I don't know whether it's going to be terrible when I compare it to the likes of Ocho, I'm going with, and Altos and brands like that. I really don't know, but for me, it really does do the job. So we're going to start off with 60 ml of your favourite tequila, 15 ml, half an ounce of triple sec or Cointreau, 30 ml of lime juice, 20 ml of this Fassionola syrup. Then I've really fallen in love with these bitters. These are Stillabunt, they're non-alcoholic bitters. But these are the Doc Fire. These just really pack a punch. These bitters look expensive at face value, but as I always say, it's like 6 to 8 drops compared to half a pipette of your normal bitters. So they're really super concentrated, but we're just going to go 6 drops. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I've just chili rimmed an old-fashioned glass or a rocks glass. I'm just single straining. Then I love to garnish margaritas with grapefruits. I've got a dried grapefruit here, so I'll just pop that on top. Wow. Wow, that's so good. First off, the heat. It's massive heat coming off those 6 drops of those dock-fired bitters. That is phenomenal. But just that chili heat that plays with that passion fruit, that strawberry, chili strawberry is like, it's fantastic going on there. Beautifully balanced, you know, not overly boozy forward, if you like. The booze is kind of subdued in the background. It's definitely boozy, you can taste it, but it's actually that feistiness with the Fassionola. So that chili, that passion fruit, that strawberry, that is flipping tasty. I'm loving that. So next up, I wanted to go Tiki. Now, this isn't necessarily a Fassionola cocktail, but it does really work. Usually with Fassionola, this is the Cobra's Fang. Strain, kind of like a riff on a zombie, if you like. So let's dive in for this. Feisty, overproof kind of Demerara rum-ish. 45ml, 1.5 ounces. 15ml of freshly squeezed orange juice. 15ml of lime juice. 15ml of the Fassionola Syrup, 7.5ml of Velvet Falernum, 1 dash of Angostura Bitters. Then you just want 6 drops of Absinthe or your Pastis. Now, technically, the combination of Angostura Bitters and your Absinthe or Pastis is known as Herbastura. I think it was Trader Vic. I've completely forgotten now, but it was either Trader Vic or Don the Beachcomber. It was one of those two that created Herbastura, which was just a blend of that. But if you've got them separately and you've got a little pipette bottle like that, it's just easy to do it. Just keep it separate, because the amount of times you'll use Herbastura is minimal. There's just a good scoop of crushed ice, and then we're just going to whack it on the mixer for about 5-6 seconds. Open gated pour into your favourite Tiki glass. Crown it with a bit more crushed ice. Now it's Tiki, so we can go a little bit leery. So I've got some pineapple fronds there. We've got nice sprig of mint, and I'm just going to finish it with a dried pineapple from Frona. Cobra's Fang done in a very big way. Wow. So first off, booze. OFTD, Planteray OFTD really does come through. Next up, I actually get strawberry again, but very quickly that passion fruit does come through afterwards. Then the undertones, you very much get that Velvet Falernum. That's coming through. You get the Angostura Bitters, and you get an ever so slight nod to that pastis, that sort of aniseed, ever so slight. That's not in your face at all. Does omitting the pastis, the absinthe, change the cocktail? Not really. You know, if you really don't like that, if you don't have a bottle, you can omit it. It's just 6 drops. But you do get that lovely little undertone of that sort of aniseed flavour coming through there. That is a stunner. Again, not overly sweet at all. Again, mass market, you might even be adding 10ml of sugar syrup to that, because this is really not a sweet syrup. This is very well balanced. Now, the fourth cocktail, I'm very excited to try. I thought this was an obvious one for me to do, and it's a riff on the Painkiller. I've done passion fruit painkillers, and I actually do prefer them to a traditional painkiller. And obviously, passion fruit, red fruit, I just got a funny feeling that this is going to be really, really good. So this is obviously not a painkiller because we're not using pusses, but your favourite sort of darker, overproof, navy strength kind of rum. So 45ml, 1.5 ounces, 22.5ml, 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, 30ml, 1 ounce of freshly squeezed orange juice, 30ml of coconut, and let's go 20ml of the Fassionola. Then again, it's a decent scoop of crushed ice, and then we're going to whack it on the mixer tin for another 5-6 seconds. And I'm going to single strain this into a highball glass filled with crushed ice, and I've just got a coconut powder rim in there. The coconut powder's from Frona. And then this definitely has to be a pineapple frond garnish. Another sprig of mint, of course. Now I'm going to go orange this time. Nice orange from Frona. There we go. Oh my God. For fun and fruity disco cocktails, that's the winner. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving the other 3, but for sheer fun vibes, that coconut with that Fassionola, Really, again, this one brings out the strawberryness of that. But that's just beautiful. They're really not sweet cocktails. They're really not. You've got that lovely bit of orange juice in there. I'll be honest, even though I've used that sort of the OFTD, which is a really strong rum, I'll be honest, that's not booze forward at all. That is just really good. This is getting finished. This one's definitely getting finished. Now, for the final recipe, I'm going a little bit left field, and I wanted a highball. Now, I thought before I actually taste this, I was going to balance adjust the whole point of this highball. I was going to balance adjust this with citrus just to make it a one pour sort of ingredient. I don't need to balance adjust it. It's tart. You don't, in some cases, you might want citrusy, but for this highball, I definitely don't. So, now I've got a kind of just over a 12-ounce glass here. And as you can see, I've got a big chunk of ice. It's my first attempt at doing clear ice. Hasn't really worked, but second attempt, we'll get there. So I'm going to kind of do measurements to fit the glass, but I put sort of a normal sort of 14, 15-ounce glass measurements in the description below. So I'm just going for 30 ml of the Goldstone ginger and lime rum, because I think that'll be perfect. Just going for 7.5 ml of Aperol, 15 ml, half an ounce of this Fassionola syrup. And I'm just going to top it up with this from Franklin's & Sons, this pineapple and almond soda. So we'll probably get about 2/3 of the bottle in here. Very gentle stir to combine those ingredients. Top it up with a bit more of the soda. And because I love it, a nice sprig of mint. And then we're going for a dried green lemon from Frona. That is all shades of magical. Again, not sweet. Even though I did small amounts, booze forward, there's not much volume in that drink, to be fair. A smaller glass. Booze forward, I do get that rum, that lime and ginger. Interestingly, this now, instead of the strawberry notes that are coming off this is very much the passion fruit sort of forward in there. There is strawberry there, obviously. But you get that little bit of Aperol that just balances that out. And you definitely do not miss that the pineapple notes from that soda. This is a very, very easy and simple highball. Doesn't need citrus at all. I thought it might do, but it definitely doesn't. This is fantastic. Such an easy serve. Bang, bang, bang with this. That is a cash cow. Definitely a cash cow for a cocktail menu. So there we go. All 5 recipes. I would quite happily demolish. That's not very often that I would say that. Normally about 3 of the 5 I would like demolish. I like them all, obviously. Every cocktail I make I kind of like. But this is just absolutely fantastic and right up my street. I promise you, this is not a paid promotion. Yes, John, JBE, has given me these to kind of play about with. We've got a great relationship there with that. But honestly, this is fantastic. Whether you want to make your own Fassionola syrup like that and replicate these recipes, you go for it. But I just think, you know, I'm a big advocate for fat-free. You know, buy a bottle, buy a bottle and just use it without having to pre-make any ingredients. That's what I'm all about. Up until now, I've never had a Fassionola syrup. So I've had to make my own. I've had to do that. But if you can buy one off the shelf stable, why would you not do that? So comments below. Which one of these 5 recipes would you try? The tequila one was a big sort of off the wall one for me as well, as much as that highball was. But you know what? I really like that margarita. So Fassionola recipes, if you've got other ones, get them in the comments below. But I also want to know which one of these 5 you would try. Right, I'm going to head back up to the office to get this video edited. Kind of think, what other videos along this line can I film? If you've got any feedback on that, again, let me know in the comments below. See you next time.